Hello, y'all, and welcome to the first ever episode of Anti-Depressing. This is the show where we talk about everything from liturgy to Lexapro, and we are so excited to look at the events happening in pop culture through the lens of our faith with all of you.
Yes, this is going to be wonderful. We're so happy to be here. It's going to be so fun. My name is Chenele Shaw, and this is Jasmyn Jobert.
Hello.
Yes, we have known each other for,
10 years.
10 years. That makes me
bizarre.
Yeah, I'm like 100 years old. So it's so awesome to be here, and we're so excited to talk about some of my favorite things, pop culture, and the Jonas Brothers, and God.
We will talk about the Jonas Brothers pretty often.
Yeah.
And God as well.
And God
as well. God
yes.
within the Jonas Brothers.
There it is. Yes, the alpha. So I'm very excited to talk about all things pop culture and faith with Jasmyn. But first off, let's just introduce each other. So
that's great.
I would love to do that. So Jasmyn, I would love for you to just say really good things and introduce me
I can
first.
hype you up. Chenele Shaw, born in 1993.
Oh, whew, good. Yes.
Ooh, okay. Good. Got it. I was
Thank you.
You're older than me.
Yep.
Chenele is a beauty of a woman. She's a great friend. She's a 2-time podcast host. I should just read your LinkedIn bio, which you updated yesterday.
Find me on LinkedIn.
She's an adult baby. She's updated on LinkedIn. She is doing the most always, hustling like she doesn't have a full-time job. And is recently hired to organize pilgrimages as her job because she's the coolest person on earth. I've known her for 10 years, and throughout that I've gotten to see the growth of a true lifetime, like growing in terms of mental health, growing in public speaking, growing in who she is as a woman, and it has been a gift and an honor, and I'm so excited that you guys will get to know her through this avenue.
Man, okay, yeah, you really hyped me up. So yes,
I could have done it for hours.
So I'm wonderful. So Jasmyn Jobert is a mother. She's a wife. She's a friend. She's a sister. She's a daughter. She is all those things very well. She will say, whatever. But she is all those things really well. She is one of the best people, so generous. And she is a certified school counselor. So get ready, y'all. We are going to dive into mental health. And I'm going to give my opinion, and she is going to give some facts. So it is going to be wonderful. She is executive director of Alive and You Outreach, which plans mission trips experiences for young people all over the country. She's rocking and rolling. We're doing this podcast together. It's been a pleasure knowing you for 10 years.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
I know. She recently moved with her family to Daytona Beach right near me, which has been...
Had to be closer.
Yeah, which has honestly been like peak life experience for me. So,
sure.
Yeah, and now we were, summoned to...
They found us.
They found us to do this podcast. So we're just so excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's just launch right in. So Jasmyn... How are you doing? What's going on? What's life?
Okay, girl, I'm good. Family life is good. I've been just hanging out with my kids all day, which is...
How old are these kids?
A lot. 4 and 2. Both girls. Headstrong. Very... they know what they want, and they're not afraid to get it, no matter how they need to. So you'll hear lots more about the kids on this show. My oldest is Chenele's goddaughter, her pride and joy,
so
her
cute.
one love.
She's so everything.
Yes.
She's everything.
So it's very sweet.
I love them both, but
what are you gonna do? I can't pick favorites, but you can. That's the beauty of it. But honestly, my most recent thing of the day is we just found out that Aaron Rodgers is gonna play for the Jets. Big Packer fan right here, Wisconsin grown, and to him, I say farewell. Have a nice life. It's been an honor watching you play when you were good. It's been the absolute just buzzkill of a lifetime to see you not be good. So I hope you have a good life. I've been blaring Olivia Rodrigo's Traitor all day, and that I dedicate to you, sir. Wow. Have a good life.
I'm so sorry. I know
you.
absolutely nothing about sports, but
I know that meant nothing to you.
No, it means something to me because I know how dedicated your family is to the Green Bay Packers.
It's true.
And Jasmyn, big flex, her and her sister were also Green Bay Packer cheerleaders. So,
True.
I mean, if this lady doesn't get cooler. So I know that must be really hard for you.
It was hard times.
Yeah, I'm sure it's almost comparable to like.
It was time.
Yeah, you know what? Like sometimes people just need to grow.
Yeah, and maybe we'll spend those millions in a better spot. You know?
Okay, sure.
He
needs to move on.
To exit.
Yeah. I imagine that it's probably comparable to growing up when they changed Will Smith's mom or Will Smith's aunt on the Fresh Prince from dark-skinned Aunt Viv to light-skinned Aunt Viv.
And just we're like, nobody.
I noticed. And they tried to make it seem like none of us would notice, but I did.
That's so true.
Yeah, and I mourned that kind of by myself.
As
but
you
then
should have.
Years later, the whole nation mourned with me. So I'm happy for you that the whole nation can mourn with you now.
They all realized it at the same time.
At the same
different
time.
Experiences.
Different experiences, but I'm able to be sympathetic in that way.
Thank you so much. How are you? What's happening in your world?
Okay, so in my world, I am blessed to be an auntie and a godmom, so I'm very busy with these kids.
Very busy.
But when I'm not hanging out with these kids and I'm working at home, things are going great. Hanging out with my mom, she is everything to me. And I have recently been on a kick to like catch up on movies because I really have just been so like behind on knowing what's going on in media. I shared this with you like a couple days ago when I was at your house. Like, I just don't know
That was last night.
I'm literally ask me what day it is. Last night when we were talking about movies, and I was like, I don't even know what movies are coming out. Like,
I don't know what's relevant.
I don't know what's relevant. And
we say as we start a pop culture podcast.
So I have watched the Oscars. I watched that.
I'm so proud of you.
A couple days ago. Yeah, it was really great. Just a little recap for anyone that did not watch. There was a lot of awards. 23.
Something crazy happened.
23. I did not know that there were going to be that many. So 23 awards, which is great.
That's
everything from sound to original song to original screenplay. I mean, it was like the full thing. There was one movie that won a ton, which was Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I definitely want to see. Yes. It has like multiverse vibes, which I'm a super Marvel fan, and I'm sure that will come up as well. Jasmyn and I are both Marvel fans, but we have also mutually admitted that it has been very hard to keep up.
It's been a lot. Thank God we have my husband to catch us up.
Steven is, thank God. Sometimes I'll just look at him when we're watching, and I'm like,
what's happening? Like, pause it.
Yeah, exactly. So Everything Everywhere All at Once won. Rihanna performed Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Mm-hmm. So powerful. That song is so upsetting. So it was definitely, a bummer to hear it again. But she did a beautiful job singing it. Oh, yeah. Lady Gaga performed kind of different. She like performed in a t-shirt with like no makeup on, and like it was interesting. It was like what do they call it? Like unstripped, uncut, stripped. Hinged. No. It's like stripped down. Like a stripped down version where chill. It was just like a solo version of that song from Top Gun Maverick that was like hold my hand.
Oh, you should have done it.
Yeah. So it was very good. So watched that, cried a little bit. Brendan Fraser from The Mummy won an Oscar, cried.
Amazing.
So it was really good. So I've just been catching up now on like all the movies that I need to be watching.
That's great.
Yeah, so it was really great. So usually how this show works, thank you for asking me how I was. I've been dying to talk about the Oscars. So.
Of course.
Yeah, so thank you. So I'll kind of explain a little bit about how this show works.
Hit us with that.
We are going to be sharing stories and different tidbits of things that are happening in mainstream culture. Yeah. And we're just going to, also talk about our faith a little bit of both, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're going to mix it up. We're going to keep you engaged. Fun. Yeah, you're going to be like, what am I even listening to? It's going to be wonderful.
And we don't know.
And we don't even,
we're just talking about things we want to talk about. Yeah. And hopefully you want to hear them.
Hopefully you want to hear them.
And maybe want to talk about them. Because that would be great.
Yeah. So, first story that we're going to talk about today is the drama between Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez.
I mean, there's nothing like talking about Justin Bieber's lovers.
Honestly,
it's my dream.
Honestly, absolutely.
Happy to be here.
Yes, absolutely. So, how much do you know? On a scale of I know absolutely nothing to I know so much, we should move on.
I know pieces of it. Okay. I know something about Selena Gomez's eyebrows on an Instagram story. I know that happened. Apparently Kylie Jenner is also like bullying Selena Gomez with Hailey Bieber.
Okay.
And that is about as far as I've gotten. Hit me with it, Chenele. What is happening?
Okay, so Selena Gomez posted one day. I had to rewatch like a download of this on TikTok
because this is crazy.
It's like so much.
Adults fighting on the internet.
It's adults fighting. The girls are fighting. So Selena Gomez posted about her eyebrows being laminated. She over laminated them.
Yeah.
Laminating eyebrows on another point is something I totally want to try. I think every girl that does that looks so good on it. Yeah, I'm like, I need to take care of that. That's crazy. So Selena Gomez posted about over laminating her eyebrows, right? Literally less than 24 hours, Hailey Bieber and Kylie Jenner posted a FaceTime of them, and it was zoomed in on their eyebrows, and it said like kind of the same comment that Selena Gomez said, where she was like, this was a mistake, and they said like this was an accident on their screenshot. And so people were like, oh, you're poking fun at Selena Gomez's at Selena Gomez's eyebrows, which
their eyebrows are both pretty intense.
Exactly. So which backstory to this, because you might be saying to yourself, why does this even matter?
Why does it matter? Tell us.
In the scope of eternity, it does not. But for the sake of this podcast,
it does.
It does. So Selena Gomez was dating Justin Bieber for many years, as you know. Okay. So as us relics, we know that. We remember that.
Believers now.
As us former believers.
Yeah.
So they were dating for a really long time. Selena Gomez was Justin Bieber's like first love, according to sources, news.
Yeah.
And allegedly. So I'm a real journalist.
We don't know.
So they were in love, dated for many, many years. Then Selena Gomez didn't treat her well. She got out. She knows her worth. Good for her.
God.
Yes. A couple months later, Justin Bieber dated and married Hailey Bieber after they broke up, after Selena and him broke up for the last time. So ever since then, Hailey has just been kind of on the back burner. She's not like the most popular one of that duo of a relationship. Yeah. Makes sense.
And people like harassed her pretty heavy.
Yeah. And so
Selena fans, I should say. Harassed.
Selenators. So then, after they made fun of her eyebrows, people started doing a deep dive, which is why digital footprint is so important.
So important.
Right? Before we were about to record this podcast, we're recording it via video as well for those that are watching on YouTube. And I was wearing just like a regular t-shirt and like pajama bottoms. And I thought, whatever. But then I remembered digital footprint.
Digital footprint. People will look at me like this
forever. Right? And so the things that you think you deleted, you did it. They're still there, which is why I'm so glad that some of my old app accounts are just, those apps don't even exist anymore. I won't even say what they are. Yeah, and so
don't resurrect them.
I know, don't resurrect them. So, so then fast forward to people are starting to find old videos of Hailey Bieber, formerly Hailey Baldwin, at Justin Bieber's concerts when she was like young, when Selena and we're still dating, huge fangirl. People are starting to find old tweets from Hailey Bieber saying like, Selena and Justin are the best, they're so cute, they're the best. People are finding old photos of Hailey and behind Justin and Selena when they were at things. Hailey was everywhere. So now
do you think she was stalking them? How far are we going with this?
Allegedly. So now people are
I'm here for this conspiracy theory. I'm ready to
this woman and saying like she was everywhere that these people were, so much so to where I wish I had these saved on my phone because I could show you. Selena Gomez will post something, like she'll post a picture of herself just like looking straight into the camera with a peace sign. 2 days later, Hailey Bieber, picture of herself looking straight at the camera with a peace sign. There are multiple instances where Hailey Bieber will copy Selena Gomez's posts to the T. And so people are just
Yeah. Intense.
So it's pretty dramatic. You know, it definitely teaches me to reflect a little bit on, you know, something that we talk about often of just holding celebrities and people to such a high standard and not giving people an opportunity to be human. Because, matter of fact, we have all imitated ex-girlfriends of ex-boyfriends. We've all followed people online. We've all made up fake profiles so we can find out what's happening with people that we used to be in relationships with.
No, you have with friends.
When they don't want to see us win, we create fake profiles so they can see us win. So we can see them lose. So
that's my concern in this whole situation. This is a story of women who do not know their worth. That is what this story is. Because Justin Bieber, rich as he may be, he doesn't have it, you know? And I have seen videos of him, like, by the neck, walking Hailey Bieber around. And I'm like, babe, what?
Love yourself.
And then people, like, sources close to the couple say, like, that he always yells at her and they're, like, fighting. And he was the same to Selena, so praise God for her exiting. But, like, why are we fighting and bullying another woman over a man that treats us like that? What is happening?
And that's the thing, because that's the thing that people are saying. Hailey, why don't you, because people are saying, oh, Selena, he's always loved you. It's time for him to get back with Selena, and Hailey needs to get out of here. But not remembering that he did not treat Selena well.
No, and she's not asking to get back together with him, babe. She's not trying.
I need to lose you to love me. To love. Do you guys remember that? That was about Justin. Okay. I needed to lose you to love me. So she's
good.
She loves herself,
she's
right?
Good.
And so yeah, that's a great point. You know, it's just about like knowing your worth, knowing your value. And I mean, even when we watch things like The Bachelor, which we'll definitely talk about, don't worry.
Yeah.
I think a lot as I'm watching some of these women, and I just think, like, you'll never catch me on these streets crying.
You say that every time we watch it. Every time a girl cries, you're like, babe, don't let him see you cry.
I like this.
You will not catch me crying over the most boring man in America. You heard it here first.
Like an envelope. So it's like, it's interesting, the Hailey, Selena, Bieber drama, or the Selena, Hailey, Bieber drama. It's just like, it's exhausting, you know, it's just, it's also interesting because then you start to think, like, are they just doing this to stay relevant? I don't think Selena is, but Hailey, I don't know, allegedly. So yeah, so you know, but that's the latest lowdown with Hailey and Selena drama. We'll just, honestly, I'll keep you up to date.
Honestly, prayers.
I'm
prayers
fatigued.
For the scenario. Prayers that Hailey Bieber realizes her worth, because, honey, it ain't it.
Yeah.
It ain't it.
It's good to love yourself and know yourself enough to where you know that you need to get out of a situation. That's a gift and a talent.
It's so true.
Yeah. So
in very different news.
Yeah.
Someone won the Powerball and won $2 billion, Chenele, according to the New York Times. So my question to you, my question to everyone out there, if you all of a sudden how do they get notified? They get a call, they see it on the news, they see their number?
I think they have to go claim it or something.
I know.
What do you get?
It's like
you get
4, 7.
You get a bird sent to your house.
I don't know. Do they get a text?
I think you have to go to your local government office. Someone could listen to this and be like, Chenele, you could go to your local government office, and I think you have to go claim your ticket, or I don't know.
And then they give you the money?
And then they, like, give you the money.
What bank holds $2 billion? Did they just, like, wire that to you? Money doesn't make sense to me anyway,
Silicon Valley Bank.
Get totally into that. That's true.
Maybe Silicon Valley Bank. That person will never get their money. Oops. Too soon.
Ooh.
Sorry for everyone that banks at Silicon Valley Bank. But it's like, I think you have to go claim it.
Maybe the student loan offices give them the money.
You'll never get that money. So then the person has to go and claim it. And then there's some scenarios where you can be anonymous. And then there's some scenarios where you can be like, where you have to publicly say who you are.
Interesting. Okay, so the question we're all asking, what would you do if you got the call, the letter, the bird, saying that you won $2 billion?
Okay, if I won $2 billion right now, like tonight. Like today. I'm about to go to bed and I'm like, oh my gosh, I won $2 billion.
Right before bed, that's nice.
I would immediately go and wake up my mom, say, Stacy, you're not going to work ever again. She's not working ever again. It's girls trips. It's girls trips from now until next year. We're going on cruises, fancy cruises, Disney cruises.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're staying in a stateroom. We're doing we're doing a room with a balcony. And, you know, my mom's never working again.
Never. She shouldn't.
And then after I talk to my mom about it, I'm immediately going to a lawyer. So then that lawyer can hook it up so none of my crazy friends or family members can take the rest of that cash.
There you go.
And then I'm going to deposit some anonymously in some of my family members and friends' bank accounts. Aww. How do I do that? I don't know. Can you even
find out?
I don't know. But I want to anonymously deposit into like some charities and yada yada yada. And then
amazing. And
then I don't know. I like to work, but honestly, I'm also not telling the truth. I do not. So
in the 10 years I've known you, you're always like, what if we just napped instead?
I love my jobs. Like, my jobs have been blessings.
Yes, your jobs
and so,
have been blessings.
Yeah, so I like doing my jobs. But if I could just exist, that would be so nice. So probably, the first thing I would do is wake up my mom, tell her she's never working again, and just let her do some big spa day, and then find a lawyer, and then do some anonymous payings for friends and family, pay off this house. Perfect. And then just vibe. I don't know. It's like people talk about buying big cars or buying big houses, and it's like, would I want to do that? I don't know. Because it's like, do I want people to see me in a fancy car? I love my life, and I live in Florida, so I don't know. I think I'll keep my little Honda Civic. I'll keep it anonymous.
A little cute house.
I think I might get a little cottage. And then I think I will be the best tither that there ever was. That will be my conclusionary act. So I will.
The priest better hustle to get you as a parishioner, because
that's what I'm saying.
No tomorrow.
I would tithe so good. It would be nuts. So, obviously, I would give some money to Catholic organizations that I love. But I would just, tithe. I would just find parishes, missions that need money, and I would just be like, here you go. So, amazing. That's what I would do. So, just a little taste. But what would you do? Taste.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. I think the first thing I would do is tell my husband, and similar to you with your mom, I'd be like, you're not going to work. You're never going to work.
He would be like, I love you so much.
And I'd be like, you'll never go to work, and you can just write music, and I'll fund all of your passion projects. And it would be the greatest thing that's ever happened to him. It would be great. Second thing I would do is call my dad, because he's a financial planner.
I might call your dad.
Yeah.
After I call my lawyer.
Yeah, good idea. Mm-hmm. And honestly, growing up, it was as if he thought at any day I could win the lottery, because he was like, if you win the lottery, it's like, do you know how many people, he knows the number, he knows the stats of how many people have won big sums of money like that and who are now broke, no money, because they spent it all and whatever. So he would be like, it needs to go into this kind of, and so I would call him and my brother, who's taking over his business, and just be like, what do I do? And like I do with my money now, I would be like, put it where you think. And I'd hand it to them, and I'd be like, go on living. Yeah. And they would probably you should spend this much now. You can do this, this, this. And then I would have a budget. But I'm a big budget girly. I'm a spreadsheet budget girly. And as much as I would be like, I would throw my budget away, I would like to be like, okay, realistically, what does this mean for us on the monthly? What does this mean for the organizations we support? I run a nonprofit, so you best believe mine and your nonprofits would be funded.
There we go.
I'm not making any more cold calls to rich Catholic people. I am not. I am the rich Catholic person that I'm calling. So that is what I would do, is fund nonprofits I'm passionate for. There's so many good organizations near us doing work, like J&J Pregnancy Center. They wouldn't have to worry. They would be just thriving.
Diapers for life.
Diapers
get
for
mommies
everybody.
Some jobs. Hook up mommies. Hook up babies with some college funds. Set up.
And I would probably foster a bunch of kids. Maybe adopt some kids. I would really want to pour that money back into children and like pro-life missions that actually do the work, you know?
You honestly, your answer makes me want to redo mine. So
what? Your answer was good.
I said I would tithe so good, everybody else would be jealous of how much I tithe. So
but you didn't mean it like...
So I'm gonna add a little bit. So
okay. Edit yours. I'm ready.
I also would love to pay for my goddaughters and her sister, because I love it, and my nephew and my niece. I'd love to pay for them to have some money for when they graduate from college and they first get started to get into their first apartment wherever they want to be for a year. Because that was super hard for me when I graduated from college.
Having money right away,
because you just get like reckless about it. You just think you could do whatever you want. So it's like, I think I would pay for them to be wherever they want for a year, but under the stipulation that like it would have to be for living. And so they could like have a job and they could do other things, but not worry about like how they're gonna live.
That's smart.
So
you know what I've seen that rich people do for their kids that we should do if we're rich? That they'll buy them a home now, like buy a house, and then they give it to their kid when they're older. If their kid doesn't want to live there, they can sell it, but like it's 20 years of more money. Whoa. Because like inflation, the house is going to be more money.
And that's smart. I could buy that house cash,
crazy, right? You could just cash buy like 3 houses, and then once they're like just be like 20 whatever, be like, do you want to live here, or if you want to live somewhere else, you can sell this house and then use that money for a different house. In that contract too, I would have to have a room in the house, dedicated room just for me. Absolutely. Just a shrine of pictures. Noelle already told us that we could all live with her. All right. We're in the clear. Just making sure. Noelle is her oldest daughter. Just making sure she never changes her mind. She would never. She's obsessed with that. So that's wonderful. So that's a great, and you would be a wonderful mommy to some kids that need a mommy. Thank you. Jasmyn is a great mother. So that's awesome. I definitely need to give a little bit more thought into what I would do. But we did discuss honorable mention. Both of us said, inspired by our boss today, told us what his was without even knowing we were doing this. Yes. And he said, if I ever won the lottery, the first thing I would do is take a nap. What a gift. Not because it was so overwhelming to hear that you just won the lottery, because that's what I thought he meant. But he was like, imagine taking a nap where like you're not worried about money. Wow. Like just the first nap of your life since you were an infant, where you can just nap and not worry about paying for anything, not worry about saving money, not worried about, can I eat Mexican food tonight or should I eat at home? Just not stressed. That's going to be the conundrum right after we're done recording this. I'm going to be like, so we just talked about money. But yes, no, it's so true. And it's like, honestly, laying down and resting is one of my favorite things to do as an adult. I don't know about you, but in college, like those college naps were it. Like something about that extra large twin size bed, like I would freaking knock out in those beds. Like I would nap so good. And just the lost art of naps, you know, now as an adult. So I would definitely turn up for a nap. Just going to bed knowing you're going to wake up wealthy is just like so nice. And the fact that like nobody else would know is just so nice. And yeah, so that's a great idea. And I think lastly, I would definitely take all of my girlfriends on an all-inclusive paid trip to somewhere really nice, like see, I am so lower middle class. What about like the Maldives? Mykonos. Is that how you say it? Maldives. The Maldives, Bali. We're going. Tuscany. It's going to be like The Bachelor, except it's just us going to different spots. Yeah, Tuscany, going on dates with Santorini. Amazing. Like, we can do something so nice. Like, we're staying in hotels where they have like breakfast delivered to it. We can do one of those things where it's like the pool where they put the tray in the pool and it has like food in it. Like a little swim up bar thing. And it's going to be nice. And so I'll take all my girlfriends in my circle. And you heard it here first. Get in the circle. Get in my circle. There are 4 people in it right now. So get in there. And so I would take all of y'all on a trip and just maybe put your kids, any of my girlfriends with kids, I'd put you guys and your husbands in like a nice
like week at Disney or something, so your husbands can like do something fun.
Amazing.
Except knowing your husband, because he's such a good husband, he'd probably be like, I don't want to do that without Jasmyn. I want to spend time with my wife.
That's true. He's nice.
Lame. So, but that is, that's it. So
that's amazing.
Our final story is something of nostalgia. And it was recently this week. It was Pope Francis's 10-year anniversary of being Pope. Crazy. Which is like so nuts. So it's such a blessing. I mean, I'm like so happy that he's our papa. It has been a long road. And so just reminiscing on when he first became Pope to now, like, do you remember where you were and what you were doing when all that went down?
I do. When it was official and like the smoke happened and he was announced, I was interning at a parish in Wisconsin at the time. And my youth minister was like, it's happening. And we watched it. And they announced that it was him, and it was crazy because that little era, one of my fondest memories, honestly, because both of us, like, were theology students at the time, friends, but not in the same spot yet. Actually, we hadn't even met because it happened this time of year, and we met in the summer. That's crazy, sad. Yeah. But my favorite thing that ever happened, I was still on Twitter back in the day, and everybody was tweeting like song and movie titles, but inserting Pope into it. And so it was like right after Pope Benedict was like, I gotta take a break, which God bless. And we could do a whole episode on just rest and people who are like, I gotta rest. Yeah, so
God rest his soul, man.
I know, the absolute king of modeling rest. So what a gift. But when he left, somebody tweeted, we found love in a popeless place. Yeah. And I think about that at least once a week. And like,
it was very...
but like everybody
that person was like, you know what I'm not going to miss? This opportunity.
But everybody was tweeting ones, and apparently none of them meant anything to me but that one. But it carries me through. Yeah. And I just remember it being like such... You know, the first unprecedented times I remember, but certainly not the last. But really, that was... People were like, this is unprecedented. This is wild. Like, we currently... are transitioning and in this like second of not officially having a pope named. It was a wild time, but yeah, I just remember it being exciting and shocking and like getting to try to figure out like, well, who is this guy, and like researching about him while we were like in theology classes was just like such a cool moment of Catholic history to be a part of.
Yeah, for sure.
Where were you? What were you doing?
Man, so I went to a small Catholic college in South Florida. Ave Maria, go Gyrenes. That's okay, y'all. Don't clap too loud. So, so I went to a small Catholic college. So when Pope Francis was announced, I was in my dorm. I was talking with my roommates. I'll never forget. The couple days before, we were like, all had the Vatican on our YouTubes, like on our laptops. We were like waiting for the smoke to change. Yeah. And all of us were just vibing in our room, and then all of a sudden we hear, like, across the hall in the girls' dorm, we hear, like, smoke, smoke, and I'm like, fire, you know, I'm like, school is canceled, and then my roommate, like, looks at her laptop, my roommate Catherine, and she's like, oh my gosh, like, there's a new pope. And then we open the door, and there's tons of girls, like, in the hallway. And we all just, like, in our pajamas, girl. And we're all, like, in our pajamas. And then we, like, run out of a dorm. And there's, like, this massive bell. And there's a church in the middle of Ave Maria's campus. So at the oratory, there's, like, a big bell that's ringing. And then there's a big bell by the cafeteria. And people are just, it's, like losing and you, like, go out to the main lawn. And people are, like, running from where the classes are, and we're all just like running because before he was elected, our school had put out an announcement to say, if a new pope is elected, come to the cafeteria and we're gonna all watch it there. Like, if you're in class, like, so leave class. And so
that's amazing.
We all, like, we're sprinting. There's people, like, running across the lawns, like, clapping, laughing. We're all like, yes. And then we get to the cafeteria, and the people in the cafeteria have, like, trays of, like, cafeteria food. But it's, like, fancy cafeteria food. Yeah. So they had, like, cannolis, like the frozen cannolis, and they were like little ham and cheese sandwiches, and they were like, yes, like a new pope, like pizza from the pizza bar. They were like, yes, like, and walking around, like, giving us all food, and we were all like standing there. And then all of a sudden the screen like starts fizzling and stops working. So we all run to this other building.
Oh my gosh.
To watch, and then the electrician people at school, the IT people were like, it's working again. So we all run back. Then we watch it, and it was just amazing. Like, it was hundreds of us in this cafeteria and standing outside. They had managed to like put up a screen in 15 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
We like we're all watching it. Pope Francis like blessed us all on that day that he was installed. He like did a blessing on TV. It was so powerful. And then afterwards, we were all like on such a high.
Yeah.
Ave Maria is by this town, this wonderful town, Immokalee. It's like an immigrant town. And so there's a really awesome Mexican church, Our Lady of Guadalupe. And so we were all like, let's go there. Like, because the Pope is Brazilian. So we were like, let's go. And so we all went. And they had already had a picture of Pope Francis printed out like canvas.
And they were like,
already
they
had already had shirts. Like, it was like,
oh my gosh.
And the
it's
whole,
like after the Super Bowl, and you're like, when did you print that?
Yeah. And so they all like, I mean, the mass was in Spanish, so I didn't understand, but they had all been like, Viva Papa, like screaming. Then we had mass, and then we all went out to Mexican food, and we were like, amazing. Yes. And it was just so awesome. And I was like, this is the coolest thing I've just ever. And if one day my laptop from college decides to turn on again, I might be able to find that video. But it was just, it was the coolest thing ever. And
that's amazing.
It was so awesome to be a part of it, especially during a time period where Pope Benedict was like gone. And it was such a bummer to not have a leader for a little bit. So yeah, so it was really great. And I will never forget it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing. Well, what a gift these 10 years have been.
I know.
Excited to see what happens next.
For the next 10.
For the next 10. Let's keep on going.
Let's keep on going.
But what a gift. So pray for Pope Francis, Papa Francesco.
Yeah. And we'll pray that he just keeps on rocking and rolling. And we're so grateful that you guys have been here with us for our first ever episode of Anti-Depressing. We hope that y'all were digging it. It's the beginning of the rest of your life. So we hope that...
This is just the start, baby.
So we hope that y'all were digging it. We're excited to talk with y'all just about anything and everything happening in pop culture.
Absolutely. Let us know what you want to hear.
We're tackling it all. You know, and so then you want to lead us out?
Like, subscribe, comment, smash that like button. I don't even know what you do on Spotify. Subscribe, rate us. Rate us. 5 stars. 5 stars. This is a 5-star experience. But thank you for being here. And remember, the world is depressing, but we are not.